What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG online video where today we're going to be taking a look at the last GX Pokemon from Sun and Moon base set that we have not covered in a video yet, and that is Gumshoos-GX. And what better way to do it than on a budget-friendly Friday? That's right, guys. This is a budget-friendly version of this deck. I think this is the best way to play this deck, and it's fairly cheap, fairly cost-effective. No shamans in here, so you can definitely, if you have your Octilleries, if you have a couple via Seeker, you can definitely build this deck. So let's go ahead in here and take a look at this Gumshoos-GX deck. Now, I will say this is not a deck that we will take 6 prizes with, more than likely. The idea of this deck is to eventually deck our opponent out, but it is a mill deck, but it's more so of a control deck than a mill deck, if that makes sense. So we're eventually going to win by our opponent not being able to draw a card at the start of their turn, but we won't be doing it by burrowing every turn. As you guys can see over here, we got this Bunnelby hiding. We'll talk about him in a second, but we will definitely be using the Rototiller there, stacking our deck up with really good cards, and just giving ourselves control in the game. And one of the best control options, I think, right now is the ability to use this ability, Search the Premises, on Gumshoos-GX. So Gumshoos-GX, the 210 HP Stage 1 Pokemon, weak to fighting, 2 retreat cost, with the ability Search the Premises. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may have your opponent reveal their hand. This is so useful and so powerful, and being able to know what's in your opponent's hand and what their options are going to be on their next turn is so good. And so I think Gumshoos fits really well in here. It's not necessarily the main attacker, but having it in here as a splashable 1/1 line, definitely very good, because it lets us know when to use cards like Team Skull Grunt and Captivating Pokepuff and Delinquent. Like, when are those cards good? Search the Premises allows us to know that. So we do have 2 other attacks here. We've got Headbutt, Bounce, 100 damage, 3 colorless, not that great. Won't really use it ever, hopefully. And Gumshoos GX, 10 damage. This attack does 50 more damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is something that we could use. It's our only GX attack in this deck, so if we do use it, if we do use a GX attack, it'll obviously be this one because it's the only one we have. But it's really good, especially if like we're going up against Mewtwo or something like Yveltal, and they just load too many energy up on one thing. Gumshoos come in, take a knockout, rid their board of an attacker, and then we can continue to stall the stall tactic from there. So let's go ahead. We do have a 1/1 evolution line of Gumshoos here, and we are also playing for Bunnelby. So like I said, this is a budget-friendly deck, and Bunnelby is our main attacker. So anytime it is an uncommon card as kind of your main Pokemon, it's definitely going to be budget-friendly. And we're only playing 1 ultra-rare Pokemon, that's Gumshoos, and it's one of the cheaper GXs to get online or in real life. You should be able to pick this up for just a few dollars, no problem. Online, like 1 or 2 packs at the most, so very easy to get. So here we go. We've got Omega Barrage. This Pokemon may attack twice in a turn. So that's what makes this Bunnelby so strong. Being able to use Burrow or Rototiller twice in a turn, one of each, 2 Burrows, 2 Rototillers, gives you a lot of options. So Burrow, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So like I said, the goal is eventually to mill our opponent out of cards and make it so when they go to draw a card, there are no cards, and they lose by decking out. So Burrow is obviously the way we get there, but more than often we'll actually be using Rototiller. Shuffle a card from your discard pile into your deck. So using our Crushing Hammers and Team Flare Grunts and things like that, those are really important to the success of a deck like this. So putting those back into our deck can be very good, and we'll find ourselves doing that more often than not. I would not be surprised if we play upwards of 10 Crushing Hammers in one game with this deck, so don't be surprised if you see that. So 4 copies of that. We're also running a 2/2 Rattata Raticate line. Rattata has the really good ability Mischievous Fang. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may discard all Pokemon tool cards attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So a really cool play we can pull off is if our opponent has something like a Hoopa or something with high retreat on the bench with a Float Stone on it. We play a Lysandre, bring it up to the active, and then bench a Rattata, Mischievous Fang, discard that tool, and make it so that that Pokemon is hopefully stuck there for at least a couple turns to buy us some time. We're also playing 2 copies of Raticate. Raticate has 2 great attacks for this deck. First off, Crunch, 10 damage, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So the way we're going to win the game is by decking our opponent out, and the way to get there is by running them out of energy and other resources. So Crunch is a great option for that. Also, Shadowy Bite is something that we could come in and take some prizes with in the late game if we discard a lot of DCEs or Rainbows or something like that, depending on what kind of deck they are playing. So Shadowy Bite, 60 damage. This attack does 60 damage times the number of special energy cards in your opponent's discard. So if there's 2 special energy down there, Shadowy Bite is knocking out Shaymaniacs, which is one of the most popular Pokemon in the format. If there's 3 in there, that's 180, and 4 in there, that's 240 damage, which is knocking out everything except for like Sigaleo and Lunala. So Shadowy Bite, definitely an option we could have later in the game at some point. We already talked about our 1-1 Gumshoos. Then we also have a 1-1 Remoraid Octillery line. Octillery here is our draw for this game. Obviously, like I said, we're not running Shaymans. We do need some sort of draw, so Octillery is fairly affordable right now. So I definitely think worth picking up an Abyssal Hand once during your turn. Before you attack, you may draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the deck. As you can see, 40 trainer cards, so a lot of options here, a lot of things we're going to be trying to work with. So let's go ahead through here and take a look. First off, we'll go through the supporters. We are playing 1 copy of Delinquent. Discard any stadium card in play. If you do, your opponent discards 3 cards from his or her hand. So our opponent plays themselves to a low hand size. We can Delinquent. Even if they have a larger hand, we search the premises, see, okay, you have a lot of good cards in your hand. Let's Delinquent. You have to get rid of some of those resources, and you have a lot less to work with. We're also playing 2 copies of Lysandre. Lysandre, one of the best cards in this deck, being able to Lysandre up something and just stall them out for a turn. Very strong. 2 copies of In, just mostly for our setup. You know, we really won't be playing it that often in the late game because we want to keep our opponent at kind of a low hand size, but In is definitely good for setting up. We need a decent amount of shuffle draw in order to set up. We're also playing 4 Sycamore, once again, just to make sure we can get set up and get some Pokemon into play. 4 copies of Team Flare Ground, that's right. 4 copies. Like I said, guys, we are trying to run our opponent out of energy. Team Flare Grunt is one of the most consistent ways to do that. We're also playing a copy of Team Rocket's Handiwork. You could go down to like 3 Flare Grunt and 2 Handiwork. I wouldn't hate that, but Team Rocket's Handiwork here. Flip 2 coins for each head, discard 2 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So some turns, whenever they don't have any energy on board, we don't need to Flare Grunt, we don't need to Sycamore, we don't need to Lysandre or anything. Handiwork is a really, really good option. So definitely nice there. And then we're also playing 1 copy of the new supporter team, Skull Grunt. Your opponent reveals their hand and discard 2 energy cards from it. So we can use Search the Premises to look at their hand, see, oh, you got a couple energy there, don't want you to have those. Team Skull Grunt, discard them right away. Also has very good synergy with Shadowy Bite, being able to just discard 2 DCEs out of someone's hand, and then Shadowy Bite boosted by 120 damage just because of 1 supporter card. Very, very strong. We're also, for the tools here, we're just playing 2 Float Stones to give our high retreat Pokemon some free retreat. So Octillery and Gumshoos here both have 2 retreat. Definitely like to give those free retreat if we need it. Also Bunnelby, same reason there. And one of the reasons we need the Float Stone is because we are playing 2 copies of Team Aqua's Secret Base. The retreat cost of each Pokemon in play, except for Team Aqua Pokemon, is 1 colorless more. So the idea also here is that we will lock something up in the active with a 2 or 3 retreat cost, and then now they have to attach even more energy to that Pokemon to retreat. So I like Team Aqua's Secret Base a lot in this deck. You could also play Silent Lab to kind of disrupt them early, but then you shut off your Rattatas, so not sure that I totally love that. We're also playing 1 Captivating Pokepuff, and the reason this is good is along with Gumshoos-GX, Search the Premises, we can bench something. So something our opponent could potentially do is just go in with 1 Pokemon and not bench anything else and go in with an attacker and just continually take knockouts. So we have Captivating Pokepuff here to hopefully alleviate that a little bit. We'll Pokepuff down something with high retreat, and someone is challenging me to a battle. If you guys ever see me online, please don't just send me a battle request because there's a chance I'm recording a video. So anyway, Captivating Pokepuff here is really good for that. We can bench something, Lysandre it up, and try to stall them out that way. We do have 4 Crushing Hammers there. Flip a coin if heads, discard an energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Just, you know, regulating what they have on field. 2 Enhanced Hammers, same thing. Discard a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. 4 Level Ball here. We search out everything in our deck with Level Ball except for Gumshoos-GX. So really like Level Ball for that. We're playing 1 Super Rod in order to get back pieces, get back energy late game, get back other stuff that we can always Rototiller it back, but sometimes it's nice to go ahead and get 3 back and then still Rototiller other things back. 4 Trainers Mail just to ensure our setup. We've got 2 Ultra Balls here. Normally you would play 4 in a deck, but 2 is fine here since everything is searchable with Level Ball. Ultra Ball works great with Abyssal Hand, of course. We're only playing 3 VS Seeker, which may seem weird, but it's okay because if we go down, you know, we have just 1 or 2 left or whatever, we always can Rototiller back a VS Seeker, and that means that we can use any of our supporters in the discard. So you really don't mind having 3 in this deck because you can always Rototiller them back. You always have access to them. And to round it off, we have 6 water energies here. Of course, you don't have to play the Shiny Call of Legends water energy. If you're going for that budget-friendly feel, you can definitely go for the basic water energies. But yes, guys, this is the deck. I definitely think it's pretty good. We're going to hop onto the Versus ladder, check it out, and see if we can win a couple of games here with Sushi and Rodents. That's right, we got all the Rodents, and then we got the Sushi Master himself. Definitely leave a like down below, guys, if you enjoy these videos. As always, helps me to know that you enjoy what you see and you want to see more, so I can keep coming back, keep making content. Also, guys, I want to let you know I will most likely be streaming later tonight and some this weekend, so keep an eye out for that. Twitch.tv/TrainerChip. Also, you can follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with like everything. I post a lot of updates, like when I'm recording and like when I'm gonna be putting up a new video and when I'm gonna be streaming. All that stuff you can find on my Twitter. So IR Waffles here playing a Psychic Colorless deck. So this very well could be a Mega Mewtwo deck. Let's go ahead and see what happens. We do lose the coin flip, so we will most likely be going second. But that's not that big of a deal because we can Rototiller or Burrow on the first turn. So he didn't get a basic. We'll go ahead and we'll have an opportunity to bench this stuff later, but we'll probably bench this stuff since we're going second. So let's see what he's got. It is indeed going to be Mewtwo, so this can be a hard matchup if we can't stick something like a Hoopa in the active. Or a Garbodor, and we can't like Rattata away the Float Stone, of course, so definitely can be difficult, but let's see what happens. We'll go ahead and bench the Remoraid, we'll go ahead and bench the Yungoos, and we will pass, or click done, and let's see what my opponent has here. We do see the Trubbish, we see the Mewtwo, so Mewtwo, Garbodor. Definitely can be a harder matchup, not gonna lie. Not sure how this one is gonna go, but we'll see if we can make it happen. Especially since we have a dead hand with absolutely no supporters. So he's gonna Ultra Ball. Let's see what he elects to find with it. I wouldn't mind seeing him in us here. He does grab Hoopa, so that is very nice. We can definitely potentially Lysandre and Rattata that. So most Mewtwo Garbodor decks only run 3 Float Stones for the most part, so running 3 Float Stones makes me think like we may have an opportunity to try to stall something out. He is benching a lot of stuff here, so that's good to see that we will potentially be able to lock something in the active. Excuse me, guys. And he is going to end us, which I'm okay with. Our hand was workable, but it wasn't that great, so we could have probably gotten something off of Trainers Mail. We had Ultra Ball for Remoraid the next turn, but I like this a lot more. We have a lot more to work with this hand. Let's go ahead and see him grab a Float Stone with the Trainers Mail. Let's see if he attaches it somewhere. He does go ahead and put it on the Trubbish. Okay, and a pass. On to our turn. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. I wouldn't mind getting like a straight-up Lysandre Trubbish Rattata play this turn. So let's see if we get a Lysandre here. We might do that. We do not. We do get a Crushing Hammer, which we can use. And I think we will go ahead and take that and potentially try to use that. Let's go ahead and try. Heads, very nice. Getting rid of that energy. Definitely good. We'll go ahead and discard Team Skull Grunt and the Team Rocket's Handiwork. We'll most likely Sycamore this turn, so it doesn't really matter what we discard. With this, we're going to go ahead and grab another Bunnelby. Go ahead and get him down. We did prize one of our Raticates, worth noting. We got our Pokepuff, which is good, but he did already bench a bunch of stuff. Prized a Crushing Hammer, it looks like. Prized a Level Ball. Prize via Seeker, not that big of a deal because we do have access to them. We did prize Lysandre, which could be an issue. Prized a Flare Grunt, so that's just about covers all of our bases. Oh, we didn't prize the Sycamore, it's in our hand. Okay, we'll go ahead and play the Aqua base and we will Sycamore. Okay, so we don't have an energy still, which is what I was kind of hoping for this turn. So all he needs is the Mega and the DCE, but we can go ahead and Rattata away the Spirit Link at least, and I don't hate that. Making him find the Spirit Link can be good. So we'll go ahead and hit him with the Mischievous Fang, discard that tool card. We can go ahead and play our floats. We'll put one on the Remoraid, I think is what I want to do. We won't play the other one yet. We'll save it just in case. We have one retreat on everything else except for Bunnelby, and we'll just pass. On to my opponent's turn. Let's see what they're able to get going. So he needs Spirit Link, Mega, DCE. He can take a knockout, so he gets a regular energy. Let's see what he gets here with Ultra Ball. Maybe a Garbodor. Nope, he's going to grab a Shaman. And we see him set up for 5. So, big setup there. He does go ahead and get the Garbodor, which is a little annoying, makes things more difficult for us. Maybe we shouldn't have even benched the Yungoos, knowing we probably won't be able to use it. We do see him just Shatter Shot. Alright, so we can Delinquent. Put him in just a few cards. I do kind of want a Flare Grunt, but he probably has an energy. I also kind of just want a Sycamore and keep trying to set up our hand, our board. We don't have a... Well, I guess Octillery really won't matter since we can't use it because of Garbodor. So Garbodor is definitely something that's annoying for this deck. Just trying to think how I want to proceed here, guys. I think that Delinquent is okay. No, I think we need a Flare Grunt. I really want energy, though. I think Flare Grunt's okay. We just get rid of his energy, keep energy off of his side of the field, and pass. He does have another Psychic, that's fine. I wanted to keep him from having 2 Psychics on, if I could. So he does knock out one. He is going to take knockouts in this game, so that's totally fine, to be expected. Okay, see what we get here with Mail. Super Rod, we won't play that. Do we want anything else? We could Flare Grunt again right now. Which I wouldn't hate the Flare Grunt play. But I think we really want to try to dig for a Lysandre. So I think we're going to Sycamore here. I think we want to discard the Float Stone so we can Rototiller it back if we need to. So I think we will just discard it. Because we might need to put it on something else later in the game that's not Yungoos. So we'll go ahead and Sycamore. We'll Rototiller that back if we need it. We can look at his hand with Pokepuff, but we can't obviously really do anything with that. We do have the Lysandre for the next turn, so that's really good. Go ahead and put this here. Raticate is definitely going to be good in this matchup. I kind of want a Crushing Hammer. We get the Flare Grunt for the next turn, so at least that's good. And what do we want to put back? I think we put back a Hammer and like a Trainer's Mail, just to keep like getting resources. So we'll retreat. Let's go ahead and Level Ball for another Bunny. Oops, not you. We do want another Bunny out in play. So we'll Rototiller, put back a Hammer, and put back a Trainer's Mail. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like I said, we discarded the Float Stone. We can put that back later, though, if we need to. Let's see if he has another energy here to take a knockout. We could have Pokepuffed to see if he would, but that wouldn't have really changed our ability to, like, what we wanted to do that turn, so that's why I didn't do that. He does have one, so that's fine. We do have the Lysandre for the Hoopa. But let's go ahead and... Ooh, well, we'll play the Pokepuff, see if he has the Float Stone. He does have the Float Stone, so that's why it's worth... And he has Olympia. So this... Since he plays Olympia too, that makes this very difficult. So Lysandre may not be the best option, but he doesn't have another Psychic Energy. So if we Team Flare Grunt, he won't be able to knock out our Bunnelby this turn. If we get a Team Flare Grunt plus Crushing Hammer heads, that'd be very good. Okay? That's unfortunate, but fine. We'll go ahead and leave Remoraid active and just pass. I'm okay with that. If he does put down this double colorless energy somewhere, we can just Enhanced Hammer it. Let's see what he gets with Mail. He had a VS Seeker in his hand, so he could in, which I wouldn't mind that much. We don't have a draw supporter in our hand. So we see the Ultra Ball here. Let's see what he grabs with this. Probably a Mega. He might just Mega Evolve. He does get rid of Olympia and he does grab the Mega. He had a Spirit Link, didn't he? I can't remember. I always, like, kind of forget afterwards. Yeah, there's the Spirit Link. There's the Mega, so we'll see the DCE. But now we can just Team Flare Grunt plus Enhanced Hammer. This is still going to be tough, guys. Still going to be tough. Like I said, I think this is kind of a bad matchup. Garbodor is definitely something that's tough to deal with. So we Flare Grunt. We probably should have promoted something else. We'll discard the Psychic Energy because we have the Enhanced Hammer. And we'll pass. We should have promoted Yungoos, I think. Definitely should have, looking back at it. What I would have done instead. But maybe he doesn't have anything now. He does have like his Mega Turbos, he does have DCEs still. He may be scared of playing his DCs because he's scared of the Raticate. We unfortunately do only have one, but we do have Super Rod to get it back. So let's see. He's got a Lysandre. Oh, so he brings up Yungoos. See, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Okay, so we'll go ahead and Sycamore. Now we wish we had our other Float Stone in the deck, but we can tackle. That's something we could do. We could also Gumshoos-GX if he loads a bunch of energy up on it. We can't actually retreat because of our own Aqua base. So that's a little awkward. We only have one energy down, though, so we'll go ahead and attach, and we'll just tackle for 10. We can't retreat, so we'll just tackle. We're tackling out here, boys. So now, maybe if we tackle him a couple times, we only need 3 DCs in the discard to knock out with Raticate. If we get 30 damage on him, so that could be something. So we'll see what he does here. He does Lysandre. Let's see what he brings up. The Rattata and pass. Man, making us spread our energy out here. So I want to see what we get here with some of our males. Okay, nothing there. See what we get here. Crushing Hammer, which does us no good. We'll go ahead and take it. Are we going to Sycamore? We only have 14 cards left. We do have 4 energy in our deck, though. And we have Super Rod, so... Yeah, it's funny, our own Aqua base is making things a little more difficult for us. I think we will go ahead and... I think we're going to Sycamore. So I think we want to leave that. I'm okay with it. We can Super Rod still. We can Rototiller still once we get back into all of our stuff. So we're going to do this. Maybe we should just put on pressure with Raticate here. I don't hate that. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and Shadowy Bite will do 120 here. So we're 2-hit knocking out Mewtwo. So it forces him to knock this out or Lysandre something else. And he's down 1 Lysandre. Only 1 via Seeker, so... He is going to Lysandre again. We probably shouldn't have benched this Rattata now looking at it. Since we prized our other Raticate. That's so funny. Okay. So we may be a little behind here. Go ahead and do this. We'll put back you, 2, and you. I kind of want to put back Gumshoos. No. It's fine. We have Raticate. We could end to draw some more cards, but we'll just click done. We'll eventually draw into some stuff. We do have Enhanced Hammer. We have Flare Grunts in our hand. So, ooh, he's going to play the Shrine. So we might see a damage change here if he hits a couple Mega Turbos. He does get a Sycamore. If we see like Energy plus 2 Mega Turbos, we'll see a damage change. Healing all that off, which is okay. But then we can promote Bunnelby, we can Flare Grunt, we can Enhance Hammer, and if we draw on an energy, we can start to Rototiller stuff back. So he's going to put a Spirit Link on this Mewtwo. So we went down 3 prizes pretty quick, but we've kind of stalled him out here just a little bit, which has been nice. We have a lot of hammers left. We can bite him. We can actually retreat. I really want to get back into my Bunnelby. Let's go ahead and do this and just grab a Bunnelby. We do have 3 waters left in our deck of 5, 6, 7 cards. We'll go ahead and do this and we'll just bite. Oh, if we retreat, we take a knockout. Let's go ahead and do that. And we will Shadowy Bite. We could bite because he's Shrine of Memories, but we'll go ahead and Shadowy Bite. Knock out Mewtwo there to prevent him from damage changing maybe. So we might actually take some prizes in this game. We have 2 via Seekers here, so if we Lysandre 2 Shamans, that's the game. That is the game. If he has another Psychic Energy, though, very easy for him to just slam that down. So he replaced the stadium, making it more awkward for us, I think, and then we'll see a Sycamore here. He chooses not to Mega Evolve, which I guess is fine because, you know, he can just Shatter Shot plus damage change if he doesn't get rid of any more DCEs. We do have the Skull Grunt, though, to eventually get rid of them. But I really like our position here in this game, guys. We went down early, but we're in a good spot. We might actually end up taking prizes. Let's see what he puts back with Super Rod. Probably just Psychics. But he may put back a Mega. I'm interested... Okay, Psychics and a Mewtwo. That's, seems... I think I might would have just put back 3 Psychics there. And he passes. So we get an energy we can put on Bunnelby, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and see if we hit this hammer. We do not, that's fine. Part of me wants to retreat and burrow, or rototiller, but I think we can put on the pressure here. I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and Lysandre. We'll go ahead and bring up Shaman, and then now if he doesn't in us, or knock out Raticate, we win the game on the next turn. So we'll Shadowy Bite for 120. We get... Okay, so we didn't get our Raticate there. Raticate there would have been really nice. We probably should have held that Water Energy too, so that's a mistake, but we can... we'll go up here next turn. If he doesn't in us, we win. If he doesn't in us and knock us out, I should say, we win. So let's see what he does. He's got to take 3 knockouts. That's another thing I really like about this deck is besides Gumshoos, we don't play any 2-prize attackers or 2-prize Pokemon. So that means it's forcing our opponent to take 6 knockouts, which is a lot. It's pretty taxing on our opponent, to be honest. So we'll see VS Seeker here. This, yep, it's got to end. So we'll see if we can draw. We have 2 VS Seekers in the deck, or just 1? Just 1 VS Seeker in the deck and 1 Lysandre. Let's see if we can draw them and see if he gets a Psychic Energy. We get a Lysandre, so if he doesn't get a Psychic Energy, oh, he got it. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So here we need to Lysandre Shaman. Or we Flare Grunt. I think we Flare Grunt. But he just put back a bunch of Psychic. Only put back 2, I guess. So he's got 2 on board, 2 in the discard. He probably plays 7? 11 cards in deck. I think Flare Grunt's the right play. Yeah, I think Flare Grunt plus Rototiller is correct, so we'll go ahead and grab this. We will Flare Grunt. We'll Rototiller, and with this we're going to put back Super Rod. I think I kind of want to go ahead and put back the Rat, to be honest. No, we probably should put back a VS Seeker. We'll go ahead and Rototiller back a VS Seeker too. Yeah. So this is going to be a close game, guys. Like I said, I think this is kind of an unfavorable matchup for us, but it's definitely going to be close. So let's see if he has the energy. And if he does, we can Lysandre Shaman this turn, which would make it a little more difficult for him. So he's going to get a VS Seeker here. Let's see what he goes for with this. We might see an N. He does have the energy. He's going to Shatter Shot. So he's down to 1 prize. Getting things pretty close. We'll promote Yungoos. You get Crushing Hammer, so we'll go ahead and do that. That would have been a really good heads to hit. We'll go ahead and Lysandre the Shaman. So we may lose this one, guys. We may lose this one. All he has to do is get an energy to retreat. Well, I guess energy to retreat plus Mega knocks us out. We'll just tackle. Yeah, this is our only play at this point. We'll see what happens. This one's definitely really close coming down to the wire. Let's see what he gets off of Mail. Does he have a Float Stone left? Does he have oh, he has a VS Seeker for Olympia. Oh, so that was a mistake. And he plays Switch, so... But does he have an energy? Does he have an energy? Because he's not knocking us out yet. He does have an energy. Good game to my opponent. Definitely very, very close there. He only had 7 cards left. We only had 2 prizes left, so good game. Very close. We got to show off the deck a good bit there, but we gotta go for a win, guys. Let's go ahead and see what happens grabbing another game here on the ladder. I do think it's unfavorable. I think we definitely could have won that game, though. I don't know if we made any mistakes, really. I'm trying to think back what I could have done better. Maybe discarding the Float Stone. I maybe should have... I don't think I could have ended that turn, but discarding the Float Stone definitely made some things tricky for us. So, going up against Knees, 5001, I think is what it was, playing a Dragon colorless deck, 5201. Call Tails, and we will get to go first, so that's nice. We get a turn of setup. Going first is really nice with this deck, being able to get our evolutions out pretty quickly. So we get a decent hand here. I don't hate this hand. Excuse me. So normally the turn 1 like blind Pokepuff is not really good, but oh man, he's benching everything. Oh man, okay, so we're going up against a Dragonite deck. I would think this deck is hilarious, so this is definitely interesting. So here we'll go ahead and grab the Ultra Ball. And with Ultra Ball, I think we're going to get down... I think we want to go and get down our Remoraid, but Raticate's also good here. But we also have a hard time if he's... I assume this is the Delta Plus. No! We prized the President himself! So, unfortunately, we won't get to use Gumshoos this game. How many Float Stones do we have? 2, so that's good. He probably relies on his free retreat a lot, so the Aqua base is good. Man, excuse me, guys. Let's go ahead and Puff. He does have Ultra Ball, so if he plays like Shaman. Otherwise, he has to. He's kind of relying on his Trainer's Mail here. We're going to do this, and we will Sycamore. Ugh. Okay, so no other Pokemon. That's unfortunate. We'll go ahead and Aqua Base to prevent him from retreating and then using Signs of Evolution, and then we'll pass. So let's see if he's able to find some sort of supporter off of this mail. Ooh, he doesn't, so does he play Shaman or not? He can't retreat. Ultra Ball. See what he gets. Ooh, he drew into Talonflame, so he discards that. He does play Shaman, so there we go. So he will not be able to Aero Blitz this turn unless he gets a... Or he won't be able to Aero Blitz this turn at all. He won't be able to Signs of Evolution unless he gets a Stadium to replace it. Lysandre plus Enhanced Hammer, so if we top deck Enhanced Hammer here, that'd be nice. But I think we really want to Sycamore this turn. And then we'll Rototiller back like Super Rod plus via Seeker. Okay, Level Ball. Another Dratini maybe? Dragonair. So he's going ahead and setting up the Dragonair play next turn. Wally. Oh, man. So we'll go ahead and see the Dragonair come out. Does he have a Stadium? He does not. Nice. Okay, so maybe he forgot about the Stadium, preventing him from drawing anymore. We could Lysandre, like Dratini, because this has, what, 2 retreat? Yeah. Lysandre, Dratini, force him to have the energy, but he probably does have the energy. We know he has the Dragonair in his hand. I think I just want to keep setting up. Could Delinquent as well, but then it gives him the free retreat. So I think we're just going to Sycamore. Force him to find a Stadium. And we get some more cards to keep our setup going. So we'll go ahead and Level Ball. Let's grab the Octillery. And then we'll grab a Bunnelby with the next one. We'll hold the Float Stone because, well, no, we'll go ahead and put it on the Octillery. We do have our other one we saw. So we'll do this. Do this. Let's go ahead and play the Hammer. Okay. And there, I played that before the mail because what we get off, what if we hit heads or not depends on what we want to get off of the mail. So we'll go ahead and take via Seeker so we have a guaranteed supporter next turn. And then we'll Abyssal Hand for 3. We get Aqua Base, we get a Water Energy, so we'll go ahead and Rototiller here, guys. We'll go ahead and put back... Hammers seem good. We've got, oh, all of our Flare Grunts are down. We'll go ahead and put back via Seeker. I think we do want to go ahead and put back Super Rod, just to be safe. Could also put back Mail, or... I think actually Hammer is good. Because, like, depending on how many... energy he gets on the field the next turn depends on what we do. So, as you guys know here, we've got the Dragonair with Dragon's Wish. During your next turn, you may attach any number of energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon. So that means all energy during your next turn, you just get to sling them down as freely as you want. So, we'll probably see him retreat here. Yep. I wish we had Gumshoos so we could look at his hand, because a Delinquent could be very painful here. If he plays one more card, we'll Delinquent him, and it will be so beautiful. Please play one more card. Please play one more card. Oh, and I should mention, we didn't mention this at the beginning, but everything in our deck requires colorless energy, so the reason that we're playing water energy here is, you know, potentially to use Hug on Octillery. You know, there's no reason to really play any other type of energy, so, okay. So he does just get a Sycamore. Play one more card, dude. Play just one more card. He might be mindful of the Delinquent. Yep. Smart play, smart play. So he does Dragon's Wish. If only we had a Lysandre. Delinquent here might be not bad still, though, is the thing. Like, sure, he does have the Sycamore, but, like, what if he has energy and, like, a Dragonite in his hand, too? And we don't really need to play anything else. Well, Team Flare Grunt, I guess. I don't hate Team Flare Grunt. We'll go ahead and do that. Maybe Lysandre, actually. Maybe. I think Team Flare Grunt's fine. We'll go ahead and do it. Flare Grunt. Boop. And Rototiller. Put back Hammer. And be a Seeker. And then with this next Bunnelby is when we'll put back the Super Rod. Most likely. Most likely. No promises. We'll go ahead and do this. We could have attached the water to, like, Octillery, but I don't really want to do that. Like, you know, we're probably never going to use Hug. And then we could have Abyssal Handed for 1. It does have the Dragonite, so maybe Delinquent would have been good. Well, nope, he's Sycamores via Seeker, Kukui, and Lysandre. So Delinquent was definitely a good call to not use that turn. So we'll see him just throwing some energy down. See how many more he's got. Ooh, Professor's Letter. So that's 2 more guaranteed on the active. So he needs 1 more energy in addition to the Professor's Letter. Unless he has another double dragon. Yeah, Raticate could be very good for us. There's already 1 down there. But sadly, we're going to have to Sycamore. We have to put our Super Rod back this coming turn, I think. So he's got another grass. Another grass. Okay, so he's got all the energy he needs. Does he have any other energy, though? He does not. So he will take 2 prizes from this, of course, because of the Delta Plus Ancient Trait. We'll go and promote here. We get a Bunnelby, so that's very good top deck, so we can attach this water. But we could Abyssal Hand for 1 and then Sycamore. Like to just try to dig for like a hammer. I think Sycamoring first is better though. So we'll go ahead and do that. Man, we have a lot of not good and useful stuff in our hand. I mean, they're good and useful later on, but right now is not what we need. He's going to take another 2 prizes here, and there's nothing we can do to prevent that. So how do we win this game? We'll go ahead and do this. How do we win this game? We can't Abyssal Hand this turn. We're going to go ahead and retreat. Man, we're just like giving him another 2 prizes, and he only needs to take 1 more knockout. I don't think we're going to win this one. We'll Rototiller. Surprisingly, the Dragonite is not a good matchup. We'll put back Super Rod for sure. And it's like Team Flare Grunt, I think, or Trainers Mail. Well, we have like all these via Seekers. We'll put this back in case we draw into it, then we can dig for a Enhanced Hammer. We really want like a Flare Grunt plus Enhanced Hammer play here. Is really, really what we want. Because he is just going to take another knockout. See what he gets with Mail. Via Seeker. So he could go for a Sycamore. Kukui wouldn't really do him a lot of good. He's going to attach a DDE down there. Let's see him mail. Wonder what he's looking for with this. He gets an N, so if you played it, it'd be a little. I mean, I don't think I'd hate it. The likelihood of him having his last DDE is not the highest, but we do get End. So let's see if we can draw into a via Seeker. We're gonna want to Team Flare Grunt away or Enhanced Hammer this. Ooh, all the hammers. Okay, so we need to flip some heads here, guys. Need to flip some heads. We'll see what happens. Heavy Impact's taking us out. He'll never be able to retreat this thing. Like, this is stuck active if we get some heads. So let's go ahead and hammer. Nice, very nice. We'll discard this. Hammer. Nice. Oh, so good. Okay, I think we might be okay now. Like, he'll never, unless he plays, we've seen Float Stone, haven't we? Dang, we got all the heads just then. It's Ultra Ball, or Trainers Mail, and we end up seeing an Ultra Ball, which is funny enough. I think we take Enhanced Hammer. Yeah. We could actually knock this thing out with Raticate this turn. We could actually knock a bunch of stuff out with Raticate. Oh wait, we don't have one. Oh, we haven't Super Rodded yet. I think we just go ahead and take Bunnelby though. We do have an Ultra Ball plus Super Rod, so if we Sycamore and hit those pieces, we can get back our Raticate. We go ahead and get the Bunny. Go ahead and Sycamore. So we need this to be what? Super Rod? Well, then we still don't have a... Well, we can Ultra Ball to thin our hand to Abyssal Hand for it. We get a Super Rod. So we put back... Raticate... 2 waters. We'll Ultra Ball the N and the Rattata. Grab the Raticate. See if we hit a water energy off this Abyssal Hand. We should have checked how many are in there. I think we got a decent amount, though. We don't have any. We can go ahead and get rid of all his energy. Oh, I was going to say, that would just be unfair. But it's okay. He won't be able to knock us out this turn. He doesn't even have the right energy to use Warped Wind. So we will Rototiller. We'll put back Super Rod so we don't deck out ourselves, I think. I think we do that. And then, like... What? Other Enhanced Hammer? Or Crushing. We'll just start putting back some Crushings. So this is making it so that every card in our deck is a good card at this point for the most part. Let's see if he has like a Float Stone to retreat and then use Dragon's Wish. I don't think we've seen a Float Stone from him. He's got to play like Float Stone / Escape Rope or something like that. So we got real, like we went, what, did we go 3 for 3 on Crushing Hammers on that turn? Well, no, we missed the last one, but in that one crucial point, we hit 3 Crushing Hammers. Crazy. Pretty crazy. So we might be at a point where we can just run him out of energy. He may play Special Charge, but I doubt it. He's already down a Super Rod. He may play 2, but again, I'm not sure if he does or not. This guy might be just surveying his options, looking at his discard, saying, what kind of resources do I have left? Can I win this game, or did he just clear too much? So this is definitely a cute deck. I think it's very interesting with Dragon's Wish. Okay, just a pass. We draw the Team Flare Grunt, so we'll go ahead and play that. I think we want a Rototiller. We'll put back the E-Hammer. And did we prize our Handiwork, or is it already down here? I don't see it, so I don't think we have it. And we'll put back Crushing. If we had our Handiwork, we could speed this process up a little bit, but we're okay. We can start burrowing, I think. We got 3 VS Seekers in our hands, so we have the ability to Flare Grunt away anything he puts on this thing. Let's see what happens. He may just be completely out of, like... Okay, how many energy does he play, probably? He probably plays the 4 DDE, of course. He's down 3 grass, and what? So does he play, like, 4 of each type? That's 4, 8, 12. That's 12 energy. That's a lot. So I think at the most he probably does play 4 lightning, 4 grass. Or he probably, what, it requires more grass, right? Yeah, so he probably plays like 5 grass? 5 grass, 3 lightning maybe? I'm not sure. So we can put back the bunnies. I think I actually want to put this back so we can have the Rattata play. We'll do that. Yeah. Just so we don't deck. No supporters down here we want to use, so we haven't found... We get Abyssal Hand. Let's see, I really want a team Rocket Handiwork. We get the Team Skull Grunt, but my opponent just concedes the game, so there we go. Getting a win, running him out of energy. He took the 2 knockouts. I was really scared of that matchup, guys. I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought I was going to lose it, but ended up getting a W in the game, in the match today, so definitely, guys, let me know what you think of this deck. It's a lot of fun. Taking a look at Sushi and Rodents here. We'll give it one last look, one last big blown up screen. So definitely check it out, guys. Let me know what you think. Deck list, as always, is down in the description of this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'm going to get out of here, guys. Until next time, take care.